Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Jen, and it is time for the January 2024 income report, which seems kind of crazy to me because 2024 just started and now we're already in February. Anybody else? Okay, remember, we have condensed this down to make it a little quicker, and I'm just going to be reviewing what I consider my top three sites. The first one is the AI Niche Pursuits Challenge site. Now, you may notice a very significant decrease in traffic, but don't worry, we knew this was coming. So, the niche that I'm in is extremely seasonal, and honestly, there's just not anything happening in January. And honestly, I am very surprised that it got a little over 2,000 page views. And really, what that's from is um, things from December and Christmas are still getting viewed. So I'm honestly kind of surprised it got as many page views as it did. But thankfully, right around the corner, the season should be ramping back up again. So we should hopefully see some higher numbers. It is interesting to note that Pinterest did actually increase this month by about 28%. So nothing super exciting. It did make $3.73. The RPM did tank with first quarter, so it went down to 167. This is on AdSense, and so we weren't really expecting that it was going to be crazy high. Site number two is the food blog, and it received 15.4K sessions and 18,000 views, which honestly is pretty close to what it did last month. It's been slow and steady, and it's kind of amazing because I haven't posted anything new on this. I've been trying to keep all my focus on the AI site and my main site. So, no new posts, no new pins, nothing. And you'll see that two things happened this month. The big spike is actually where someone had posted my link to my website to answer someone else's question. So it got a ton of views in one day, all because somebody else posted a link. The second thing is Pinterest, even though there's no new pins, it continues to grow every month. And at this point, I think we're at almost 500,000 impressions every month, but it's funny, I only have like 12 followers. So it just goes to show that the amount of followers and how old the Pinterest account doesn't really make a huge difference. It's the individual pins. So if you're not pinning, definitely start pinning. This site did make a total of $54. It's also on AdSense, and the RPM dropped. It was only $3.17. So no biggie. Now, the funny thing is that while I was making the slides for this video, I noticed that the food site and the AI site, the Google Search Console, actually looks so incredibly similar that I almost mixed them up for these sites. So I just wanted to show you that just because a site doesn't get a ton of love from Google doesn't mean that it can't have a good amount of page views, because that food site gets 18,000 page views. The AI site only got 2,000, but you'll see that they got very similar, almost the same amount of clicks in Google and about the same CTR. The AI site, the CTR actually went down, and that's because for the first month, it's actually being shown for extremely broad queries, which I thought was interesting because one of the things I noticed when my main site was hit by the HCU is that it was no longer being shown for super broad terms. And that kind of explained a lot of why my clicks went away and my impressions went away. And it seems so strange that this site now, instead of being shown for what's very specific to the article, it's being shown for just crazy broad terms. And so it's bringing my CTR like way down, but people are still clicking. So I don't know what to make of that. I just thought it was an interesting comparison. Now, here's what I really want to talk about. Okay. So, my main site, this is my baby. This is like my heart and soul. I love this site. I work on this site because I enjoy it. It gives me, I actually have fun doing this. So, this site, it got almost 24,000 sessions, it got 27,500 views. And this is depending on if you're looking at sessions or views. This is anywhere from a 23 to 30% increase in one month and in January of all months. And the part that makes me excited is this is the very first increase month over month that I have had since getting just absolutely snockered by the HCU update, which happened back in August. And I have included up here, you can see that every month since August, my page views have gone down and gone down and gone down. And it's been so hard to get motivated to work on this site because I'm like, if Google hates me, if I can't drive any traffic, then what's the point? And I decided to shift my mindset. And you may have seen on another video that I decided I was going to continue doing Pinterest because it was drawing traffic, but I was going to, basically I was going to start throwing spaghetti at Facebook and see if I could get anything to stick. So let's see at that. Okay. So I don't have a huge budget. And when I started this Facebook page, it was, I think, back in January of last year. And in November, right around Thanksgiving, I had a whopping 8 followers. Okay. And so December, I was working really hard and I was excited because I went from 8 to 328. So when we started January, it was super tiny. By the time we ended January, we were at 2,408. And I know that may seem like small potatoes to a lot of people, but I have grown this simply organically. Okay. I have spent some money to boost some posts, but I only boosted posts that I felt were very shareable and I targeted specifically who I wanted them to go after. And it ended up costing about 1 cent per engagement. And engagement can be things like clicks, shares, reactions. And so almost every person that was shown it was actually making some type of engagement. So that was awesome. Now I will say my page, for having such small amount of followers, has a huge amount of engagement. And what's really kind of driven that is everything that goes on the Facebook page is very helpful. The majority of it is shareable, and twice a week I post content that I put a link to my website where you can go print a free PDF file. Okay. And my target audience loves printable PDF files. Okay. So not only do they love the pretty pictures, but a good amount of them also want to be able to save those and print them at home and use them for themselves. And you can apply that to so many different niches. And what's really great about this is they're not difficult. I just use Canva and I don't have to. The trick is really, I don't require them to put in an email address to sign up for anything because at this point, I'm gaining trust with my audience. I'm showing them that I have free, valuable information that they want. And so I'm building that like fanatic fan base. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm going for traffic. And yes, eventually I may look into offering a more premium option that does have, some type of charge on it. I may set up like a VIP email list, but that's not where I'm at right now. And what's crazy to me is if you go back, you'll see my direct traffic has skyrocketed. The number one search term in Google Search Console for this past month was actually the name of my site. That has never happened before. And in fact, I think I've never even seen the name of my site in Google Search Console as a search term. So I don't know, if this can apply to everybody, but I know that if you offer things that other people charge for, it already has value. And then if you give it away for free, people will literally keep coming back and keep coming back. Now, the total revenue that this site made, so this is She Media, and it made a total of $240.41 with an RPM of 1137. The RPM for last month was 21.56, so it definitely decreased. Now, I wanted to show you these little graphs here. You can see the first one is December, and that little tiny purple box is Facebook. And it's saying that out of all the Facebook traffic I got in December, which was minimal, I made $3. Now, with all that Facebook traffic that I got in January, it actually made $23. So not only am I growing my following, but I was able to actually get them to come to my site. Now, here's a fun fact as well. The last week of January, I was actually invited into the Facebook bonuses program. I was shocked because I was always told, or at least led to believe, that you needed at least 10,000 followers to even get an invite, and that there's some pages that are, 50, 60,000 followers and they still haven't gotten an invite. So I am convinced that it is based on engagement. So even though my following is low, my engagement is super high. Now, the way Facebook bonuses work is that from the day you get the invite and you accept it and you fill out all their terms, the next day, everything that you post on that day onward now has the ability to be monetized. Now, there's some real vague information there, basically stating that it's based on reach and engagement. But I can tell you by looking at the posts that some of the ones that have way higher engagement or way higher reach does not necessarily equal payout. So in 7 days with only like 14 posts, because I usually only post, actually, no, with only like 10 posts, because I was only posting one post and one reel a day, it made a total of about $7.04. So that's why the total revenue up there is a little bit higher than what you see with Shemedia. So granted, the total for the month for all of my sites was only $3.24, but I am over the moon excited. We added a whole new income stream that I didn't even think was possible because I'm not one of the, I don't have 10,000 following. I have 2,400. Who knew? And then when I big picture and look back, in January of last year, my total portfolio made $36.90. So in 1 year, I have made a 735% increase in revenue. And all these sites are profitable. They're not in the red. Whatever money they make, the majority of it is profit. And because I try to keep my expenses so low, my total profit margin is like 94%, because really I have just like the bare basics. I don't pay for keyword research tools. A lot of the monthly expenses. I mean, if I was paying for Ahrefs, that's 1/3 of what I made. And you know what? I don't need it. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful, start of your year. Let me know how your January went. Has anyone else started to see something happen after HCU? Am I the only one? Granted, the traffic didn't come from Google, but still, I'm so excited and I cannot wait, because right when HCU hit, I was so close to Mediavine levels. So wouldn't it be awesome to finally get back there? So anyway, sorry for the long video. I was just super excited. Hope you guys have a great month. I'll see you next month.